Good morning, good morning. It's Tuesday, February 2nd. Let's look at some pre-market action. First, let's go over some stocks that we talked about in yesterday's videos on the indices. So, if you got them early, saw AMC, Gamestop, all the Wall Street best plays basically got hammered in the aftermarket hours. Here's AMC. So, it closed at 13:30 yesterday. Hit a low down here around 524 at 888, bounced around into the nines now. So huge drop after hours. It's almost 50%. And GameStop is looking just about the same. Closed at 225, sitting at 126 right now. So why does this happen in after hours? Could be that this move on last Tuesday here, bottom left, right from 150 up into that 200 range, 225 range, all happened really quick. Not a ton of volume here. You did have volume in the 150s, but this steady move in the afternoon was, only a sliver of volume compared to what's happened Wednesday, Thursday, where everybody's up top, bag holding, and as it's dropped, people start panic selling. Nobody's doing their old diamond hands or paper handing it and selling off and taking their losses. So how low this go, I have no idea. I think it probably keeps dropping, maybe finds a base somewhere around $40-50 area, but could get a bounce somewhere down here off. Look at the daily, the 22 at 112. So we'll look to see if it further drops on the open or gets a bounce. SPCE, Virgin Galactic, had a big run after hours yesterday, just continued upward momentum, and then when it opened this morning, hit 62.90, which is a new all-time high for it, and then it's sold off this morning. Still been rolling over, but as you can see, it's at 56.7 right now, so still almost $3 above its close yesterday. So could look for, this could be just profit taking, pullback, and then on the open we continue rising. They didn't have any news out this morning, but the SpaceX did that they're going to have a all civilian flight shortly, so they kind of moved together on news. Fubo TV, FUBO, kind of sideways aftermarket hours. It's down about a buck from where it closed at yesterday, but still sitting above the 15.50. It's got some support under it, so we'd probably look for a dip off the open, and then for the price to continue up, some profit taking, and dip to continue up. Jumia had a good run after hours, pretty sideways yesterday, sideways and up. Hit 67.15 at 5 a.m., which is a new all-time high. Right, so got out of this in the bottom right here, got out of this kind of consolidation between the low 60s the last 4 days, 5 days. And so we'll see if we open and compress higher, see if we can hit that $70 range where there was a lot of options for this month at. Then we'll look at silver. Silver's been dropping hard from yesterday. Was reading, I don't really know much about the commodities market, but I was reading that paper silver is way down, but the premiums on physical silver are way up, and I think that has to do something with how they leverage their paper contracts to the physical asset, which is, I think, part of the short squeeze aspect that a lot of people were looking at. But yeah, I guess it's down almost 20% here. Once it opens, 22.12. This is AG, which is a miner of silver, to 18.4. But if you look at SLV or SLVP, both silver ETFs are down. Actually, this is kind of sideways today for SLV. But let's look at SLVP real quick. Quite a bit down lower, so almost $1.50 down for SLVP. So this AG yesterday should have been a good play off the open, as it sold off here at this $24 range and just continued downward trend. Probably could have held it short overnight too. We did break some resistance at the top, but if you notice this rollover or washing after hours, that could have been a good spot to get in. as it moves down. So we'll look to probably see a little pop on the open. If it can stay weak, stay bearish, probably short it down as we're now back into this on the bottom right, the range the last 2 days. And then another SPAC play that's got some movement this morning, Churchhill Capital. I still don't think there's been any news on the merger, but it's up today. So if it opens right now, it'll be open at a new all-time high. If we look at the right, so it hit the high 2073, pulled back, kind of made this cup J-hook pattern, right? You probably say a repeat right here, right? So could be looking at a next leg up, maybe push into the $30 range. See if we can break that pre-market high at $29.95. And then new movers for today, they're almost all BioTech companies. MBRX, I believe they had a 100% survival rate achieved in osteosarcoma lung metastases in animal models. So pretty preliminary testing results. If you look down here in the bottom left, you'll see this little symbol down here, this fuchsia, pink, purple symbol. It means it did a reverse split, which was effective yesterday. A lot of somewhat shady companies will do that, or really small companies too, by the way, will do that right before they put out good news because they know the news is good, and it drives the share prices higher because the float's a lot smaller. And they did a 1-to-6 reverse split. So if you had one share, it now became 6, or one share became 6, excuse me, it was opposite. So if you look at long-term chart, 10 years, company's only been around for 5 years. So this price here is all short adjusted, or share adjusted for the split. So you would see that this 9.3 is almost at its all-time high from when it IPO'd back in 2016. And just right now it's selling off pre-market. So see if it holds the $7 range on the open and continues higher. TLSA, not to be confused with Tesla, Tizania Life Science, they had a big rise this morning. Let's get the news on that one. Nasally administered for Philamid suppresses lung inflammation in COVID-19 patient study. So some COVID-19 related news. Volume's really thin. It's probably one I won't be watching that much, but it's just up on news. And he's looking at its daily charts. Had a crazy range in the last. Oh, this is monthly. Sorry, excuse me. So still has had a run up through December. Kind of pull back in January. Now probably do a little J hook and move higher. So if we open right now at 505, we're sitting right at the top of this wick in this candle. BNGO, which has been a favorite of people the last couple of months, after they were a big favorite for ARK investments. They had published a study that measures DNA methylation of various regions regulating cancer in cancer genes on single DNA molecules. So if we go to the bottom right, it's been a steady uptrend since the end of December. Gets a high, pulls back into the 9, and now it looks like we're taking off again. Hit 13.3, now we're back in the 12.5s. So if we can stay up, probably get a bounce at least above $11.5, $12, somewhere in that range. Probably look to continue higher. And then the last one, INL, Inovio Pharmaceuticals. They were up yesterday. They've been running the last week as well, from the low 9s all the way up to here 19 now. But if you look at the daily, get a press above the moving averages, pull back around 13.5, stay above the moving averages 9, inside bar, and then open, and we're off on a run. So here there might be some exhaustion risk coming up. The news that came out today was just a patent, so pretty flat here pre-market. So I would kind of expect maybe a pullback down into this $18 range, maybe test the high day of yesterday, 18.2, see if that holds and if we can go higher. So that's what I'm looking at today. If you got anything, let me know in the comments what you're looking at today, what you've been playing, and like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.